Well, at the end of the day, they don't need his vote anyway, right?
Nope. All right, we should be live. Okay, great. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. See you guys still signing in. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah, Rich, I think he's just a hardcore guy. I mean, he's what did you say, Jason? He's an engineer?
Yeah, he's an engineer by trade, and he made his wealth by designing patents and then selling the rights to those patents. So, and he basically said, I just do the math on all these things, and I figure out if I'm voting on them or not, which he said most of the time he doesn't vote on any of this stuff because all they are is spending appropriations, right? So,
right. Well, I don't think we can do the disc class online. Maybe we can. We might want to run that out next weekend. But he's an engineer, so he's a black and white dude, right?
yeah, of course he's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. Everything's black and white. Engineers are like, maybe half a step away from Asperger's, right? I mean, you know the type. That's probably who he is. The purpose is, hey, this is the wrong thing to do. And I can make everyone take a roll call vote. I'm going to do it. So I guess that's what his thinking is, especially if he's an engineer. All right, guys, let me pay a few bills here. I appreciate you guys hanging with us. We'll get through this very quickly. And Jason has some good information for us today, as well as we do. I talked to all my property managers over the last 24 hours. I can give you a couple updates on that. Hey, we're going to be talking about investing, and maybe we'll talk about our fund and some of our syndications. So we just want to let you know, we talk about our fund. We're just talking about it, right? Brian is the guy you're going to talk to if you actually want to invest. And when you talk to him, he's going to let you know all the requirements and there's paperwork and all that other stuff. And when we do talk about syndications, really for education and demonstration purposes only. So in other words, we might be talking about loans. We might be talking about SEC stuff. All the information that we're talking about today is as accurate as possible, and none of it is a direct solicitation for investment because we do that through Brian with a ton of paperwork, and it takes a little bit of time. So hopefully you guys all understand that, and there's a lot of new faces on. I want to make sure you understand. Hey, if you guys want to do business with us through our real estate team, 281-401-9008. That number is pretty popular around here, 281-401-9008. And we're making offers. We got leases going up. We just looks like we're gonna lease one of our 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and she's agreed to give us the first 2 months rent. So we're happy on that. We're on the radio Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 p.m. If you're in Houston, we're on 1070 The Answer. If you want to listen to us online, you can. We also have our podcast, our YouTube channel, our Facebook Live. So we're out there, guys. If you want to start backfilling all our nonsense that we talked about and some of the gems that are in the middle of all that, feel free to go look at our body of work. Best way to get a hold of us and if you see what we're going on hour by hour, minute by minute is the Mr. Texas Real Estate Group in Facebook. It's Mr. Texas Real Estate with Jason Bible and Robert Orfino. We're going to ask 2 questions, let you in, which email address, and promise not to spam us, and you'll get in. We got about 1,600 people in there, and they're all quite active. Jet Lending, these guys are our sponsors. We talked about them a little bit yesterday and the type of hard money they are, so they are still lending. Give these guys a call. Ask for Rob Trigg. He'll set you up. Tell him you heard from Mr. Texas Real Estate, and they will make sure that they take good care of you. Patent title. We've got a lot of fun going on patent these days. For sure, if you are buying from a wholesaler and they ask you to pay all the 100% fees, then you get to choose the title company. And we would suggest patent title. Investor friendly. Guys are accessible. MRTXRE at patenttitle.com. Quest Trust. And listen, guys, you know these guys. They are off the wall busy. I talked to Derek yesterday, and they are insanely busy. Money coming in, money going out. Some people are, making some smart investments. The ones who invest with us. Other ones are investing. Other more money coming in. They came out of the market, parking it, creating a home. So these guys are super busy. I think they have a special going on. So if you haven't gotten your 2020 Roth, make sure you give those guys a call. Capital Concepts. Well, Blake is back, and he's lending money too. So give those guys a shout.
Blake made it back from the Bahamas. I told him he was going to get stuck there.
Yeah, I saw an update from Lindsay. So MRTXRE@forsmartmoney.com. Give those guys, reach out to those guys, shoot the email over, see what they have. Weimer's Insurance Group, they're at the office today. We just paid an insurance bill. We got 2 more to pay today before April 1st rolls in. So quotes at WeimerInsurance.com. If you have a small portfolio, 10 houses or less, these guys are absolutely perfect for you. Plans and permits. I still got to call Hugo, get them going on that flip out there. We just got all the roofs done at Bell. All the foundations are done, Jason, and they're going to start on the 3-unit first because it is the easiest one to do. So they're going to start over there, and then they will get those rentals probably done by the end of the month. Hey, we have a class on Saturday and Sunday. That's tomorrow and Sunday. It's Real Estate Foundations, Real Estate 101. It's a great refresher class. We really talk about our business model, how we're doing it, where we're getting money from, how we're finding deals, what we would do if we were brand new, and if you're a wholesaler, if you're a flipper, if you're a buy and hold person. We cover all of that. I go through entity structures, which – hashtag winning, Jason. We've got 5 entities to submit for SBA loans. We are very happy that we set up the entities the way that Tony Watson told us to.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was chatting with somebody last night. I'm not going to say who it was because he's probably going to talk about it when he goes on. We're sending emails back and forth right now so we don't conflict with some of the stuff we're doing. But he thinks he's going to be able to get $500,000 in loans that are just going to get forgiven. So $500K in free cash for all the entities that he owns.
Yes. So we're going for it. Yeah, so if you set up, and we'll teach how to set up the structure right this weekend. So it's a whopping $97. And just the structure analysis is worth it. But it's 2 days. Jason and I will give all of it. Jason is the lead instructor on Saturday. I'm the lead instructor on Sunday. So make sure that you guys sign up. I will shoot you guys the link in a second here. Jason, we had a great week. We're in the middle of a fantastic week. A lot of people like our projects, understand what we're trying to do, can appreciate that we have a reserve of cash, and on the other syndications that we did equity only, and can appreciate that we don't have any debt service, so there's no need to worry in the short term. These are 5-year syndications. So we are seeing fantastic responses on the syndication. So we're very, very happy, as well as the fund. And I think we might have an announcement for next week as well. So some other stuff. We're still looking for general partners on the office building, so that should be fun as well. We have a meeting on site, so to see us do another Facebook Live from our new Texas Real Estate Investment Center. Anyway, Brian's the guy. He's much smoother than me and Jason. Give him a text, 281-401-9008, text invest. You can go ahead and look at our what we're talking about on our website. Fill out that form. That'd be great. So, Jason, you got a few things for us?
I do. When you switch me over, why don't you, Steve Englehart asked, hey, are the SBA loans limited to how much you spend on money, wages, repairs, etc.? So do you want to answer that one while I'm getting set up over here? Because it's kind of changing, but we're starting to see it coalesce around 1099 and W-2 employees.
For some of it, let me, I had it up last night. Here, let me share this real quick.
Okay.
Drop that out, drop that down.
Oh, I gotta stop my share so you can see it. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Nice. I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah. So here's the SBA site. Just go here, and there's here's some of the guidance they have, right? So economic injury disaster loan program, this is so since they declared the entire country in a state of emergency, this is very much like folks that might have applied for this relief after the hurricane, after Harvey, right? And they can provide up to $2 million. These are the bridge loans. These are the $25,000 less paperwork, fast turnaround loans that you should absolutely apply for any of your LLCs. Let's see if they provided any more insight. Oh, they did. Yeah. So, I'd be jumping over here. Forbes absolutely has a great little thing to show you the stuff to do. Remember that the capital access. So some of it is direct from SBA, but there's a lot of loan brokers. So you got to get paired up is the big thing.
I think we have to reach out to him, but I think Daryl does SBA stuff.
Oh, really?
We've talked about. I have talked to him about it before, and I know he's done them. So we might want to reach out to Daryl Dyke today, and not everybody call him right now. Don't do that. There's like 100 of you guys on this call. There's another 100 or so on Facebook. Let me send him a message, and if he's apprised of this stuff, maybe we can put him on.
That'd be great.
Yeah, please don't call his office right now looking for SBA loans because everyone's still trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, and they're not taking applications until Friday, next Friday. So loans will cover accounts payable, debts, payroll, and other bill information. They've extended this. The small business assistance. You have some states who are jumping in. I bet my life that Texas is not on here.
Not yet. They don't want to get outdone by anybody else. So, and we do have that state slush fund. So
there it is. It's a 3.75 loan, and they can convert it into a 30-year. Jason, is that amazing or what?
Great. Give me all of it at 3.75.
Yeah. So we have 5 LLCs that have got transactions in and out, filed income taxes. Have 2 of them have payroll. So there's a lot that we should be able to qualify for. I'm not sure the LLCs with a house in it will qualify, but we'll take a run at it.
Well, Peter Schiff was saying this morning that he's seeing kind of on the interwebs, if you will, some discussion about guys opening LLCs just so they can get a check.
Yeah.
He said it's going to be so rife with fraud. I mean, it's going to be insane. And I totally agree with him. It's going to be insane.
Well, I don't know if the problem is we talked about it yesterday. This stuff is just sort of sent out there all willy-nilly, right? There's no, like, I'm pretty sure in the law it doesn't say you had to have your business file taxes last year, right?
Right, yeah.
Right? So if it doesn't say that, is it? So Aaron, I'm going to give it to you right now. If you want to go get I'll put it in the chat here. But here's where we get our LLCs done, right there. So, all right, Jason, the floor is yours.
Okay. So, Steve, hopefully that answered some of your questions there. We're still kind of in no man's land, if you will, with some of the stuff.
Yeah, it hasn't even passed yet. I mean,
yeah,
right?
We don't know, but I think it's going to end up passing. There'll probably be some minor changes, but so this was Surfside, Texas yesterday. I was driving all around, I feel like the state. I was driving all around the city, and this is social distancing right here in real time. There's nothing else to do other than go to the beach. You can't do anything else. It's kind of, honestly, I really don't understand.
You could be staying home working on pro formas. I know someone who's doing that.
That's true. That's true. You could be working on pro formas, but I don't want to take that away from you because I know that's something.
It is a highlight of my week for sure.
So,
absolutely.
This is the market for today. So market's down 3.3. It was up yesterday. It was up the day before. Let me explain what's going on in the marketplace. I'm getting a lot of questions. Jason, it's up one day and it's down the next, and not up one day a little bit and down. I mean, it's like these wild machinations. And I said, look, this is something that happens in every bear market. You'll have one day it's down 6%, next day it's up 3%. This is a typical bear market thing. This is not the market is fine and everything's going to work out well and all that BS. This is a telltale sign of a bear market when you get these wild machinations like this. That's absolutely what's going on here. And you can see it's a bloodbath. Dow's down 3, NASDAQ's down 3, and S&P's down about 3. So that's what's going on here. This guy right here is an adult. This is how a hedge fund is supposed to work. And most hedge funds don't. So the way a hedge fund is supposed to work is you've got, in fact, if you look down here, I don't know if it says what his actual trades were, but really you buy a group of assets and then you hedge those assets in the derivative market, in the futures or options market. And that's exactly what he did. He's sitting at an 82% gain. That's not a return. That's an 82% gain as of March 20th. So he did pretty well. We'll start to see more guys like this. Ackman was like a 10,000% return or something ridiculous like that. So the smart guys were hedging like they should. Now there's 4 REITs right now that have gone into receivership. One of them lost 87% of its value in like 96 hours. So when another thing people ask me all the time, Jason, what do you think about REITs? I'm like, unless you know a lot about that REIT, I'd be real careful. So there are 4 that are essentially going into receivership, AKA bankruptcy. That's really what's happening. Big ones too. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. No, I saw it on Zero Hedge and a couple other places. I cannot remember the name of them. I think they were mortgage REITs. Let me click over to news. No, I can dig through and find it, but 4 of them essentially going under. That's been the big development. So when people ask me about REITs, I'm like, dude, just put your money in our fund. If you want to do something else, let's go buy some single family real estate with your fund with your funds instead of going and investing in a REIT. In stunning development, dealers run out of securities to use in Fed repo operations. This is hilarious.
It's great news for us, though.
Oh, it's great news for us.
Because that means the commercial market might get taken care of next.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. So in October, they opened up the repo. This is an overnight liquidity vehicle for banks and broker dealers. And so the Fed actually at one point said, okay, we'll do a $1 trillion in daily repo, meaning sell us everything you got just so you can have the liquidity to survive. And essentially the treasuries went to zero. Now, I completely agree with this. Why anyone would pick repo over quantitative easing in the current market's a total mystery. And there's some other stuff going on here. I've said back in October, I've researched it. I've gone to the fringes of the financial internet blogs. Nobody can figure out what the hell's going on in this marketplace with regards to the repo market. I don't understand what's going on, and nobody does either. Like why they were having cash problems back in October, we still don't get. So in any case, the repo market looks like it's slowing down substantially because there's no one selling any treasuries back to the marketplace. In fact, that's the graph, which is interesting. So I don't know what's going on in this marketplace, but it's essentially collapsed overnight. So maybe a lot of these guys are going onto the QE side of things. So interesting things going on in the capital markets. Let's talk about this. I saw this last night. I've not heard anybody talk about it just yet. But if this thing passes, this is going to be pretty sweet. Bonanza for rich real estate investors tucked in a stimulus package. This is it's page 203 of the 880-page bill. And basically what it allows us to do as real estate investors, you guys remember back in 2017, we couldn't shelter losses above $500,000. So you could write off through depreciation up to about 500 grand. Well, that all changed. And not only did that change, if you go down here, it says it's actually possible for you to go back 2 years. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, okay. New stimulus bill lifts the restriction for 3 years, and you can go back retroactively for 2 years. Now, why I'm particularly excited about this is I sold my businesses back in 2018. And you guys know Rob and I have been on an absolute tear in 2019 and 2020 with all this real estate we've bought. So we've got a massive amount of depreciation that's coming to us. And if I can retroactively, now I don't know if that means I can apply the losses from 2019 to 2018, or if I can go back and use this new carve out above 500 grand to then take down those capital gains. So I don't know, but it's reading this is very, very interesting. My guess is they're going to allow us to retroactively apply the gains in 2019 and 2020 for the last 2 years, but I don't know. It's very interesting though. So there's a lot of these little carve outs that are going to pop up in the stimulus package that do well for wealthy real estate investors. Now the question is, Jason, why is this in the stimulus package? Really simple, because all the people in Congress own freaking real estate. And most Americans are not going to sit down and read this and understand it and all that stuff. So they're going to sneak all this kind of stuff in, which is going to be great for us. Now, Rob and I are currently fit to be tied about the green credits.
I
Because
know.
he and I are buying solar panels and Teslas, and the new office building, we're going to put a bunch of solar panels up, and we need to put the charging stations for the Tesla and all that. And we're like, hey man, we need some 200% write-offs or something for this green technology.
Give me accelerated depreciation.
Yeah, give me 100% the first year, right?
Right.
So we'll see what happens, and when this thing finally passes, hopefully here, I'd be amazed if it doesn't pass today. Maybe they do an emergency session this weekend, but the markets really want this thing priced in, if you will. So we are hoping and praying that this thing passes, and we're able to get our, piece of the pie, if you will. But that's all I've got for today. Rob and I and a couple other guys are really watching the stimulus package because there is some stuff in there. And like Rob said, if you guys have been following us the last year or two, we tell you how to set these entities up as management companies, and how you do payroll and all that other stuff is going to be a big deal. You want to make it look like your real estate business is a real business, not just going out and buying some single family houses. Like, make it look like a real going concern, not just buying some real estate and trying to write all my stuff off and all that. I mean, really make it look like it's a real business. So, Rob, that is all I got for today.
Sure.
We've got some questions here in the chat. Oh, no, that's you putting stuff in the chat. I don't see any questions. Let me look. I don't see anything in Q&A. But that's all we got.
Let's go over the. I spoke to our property managers, Jason. So, all of our property managers are of the opinion that we shouldn't have a problem with the tenants that we have.
Oh, interesting.
And we have a new tenant going into one of our properties, and she's a nurse.
Ooh.
So she's going to be busy, and she's agreed to give us 2 months up front.
Yeah, she's probably agreed to that because she's going to be working 9,000 hours a day for the next 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely. But the policy that they've instated is, and it was some really great clarification, is they said, hey, if they're not going to pay the full rent, we expect at least half. And then we need something in writing from them on how they're going to make us whole on the other half.
Yeah.
I said, love it, like it. And so everyone's got kind of something like that. Like, one of our property managers is probably dealing with people that can articulate. The other one, not so much. But the other one said, even our Cashmere Garden guy, he's like, they all should pay.
That's right.
There's not a problem. One of our property managers made it a point of clarification saying, you can still file for eviction. They're just not hearing any cases until the 19th.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
So go through how that works, Jason, on what you have to do, and the note on the door and all that bullshit.
Yeah, so this was You know, if you guys remember back when you and I were chatting about this, they said, how are you guys going to do evictions and what, are you going to evict people? I said, look, I think we go ahead and file. We put the 3-day notice up, the 3-day notice to vacate, and then you file, and then you get your court date. But I said, look, I think we go through the whole process and then let the judge decide whether or not they're going to stay.
Right, because none of our lenders are telling us to keep the tenants in place. They're all our lenders are telling us make the payment.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm like, look, we'll let if the judge says, and let's be honest, this last election was not great for the whole judge side because it's all blue up and down the leaderboard here, which is fine. But here's the other problem. I also don't want to run into a fair housing issue. Like, I'm going to treat everybody the same.
Yep.
If our policy is, hey guys, make at least half rent. If you can't make full rent, fine. But it's got to be the same policy across the board. So I'm of the thought process. We come up with one policy for all of our assets, and if they don't meet that policy, fine. We go through the eviction process, and we get to the court, and then we can decide. Okay, if even up to if they give us the writ of possession, which means they're getting kicked out, we can then decide to execute on that writ or not. But I think at the end of the day, you still run this as business as normal and let the judge decide. And I have no problem going to eviction court. I actually like going to eviction court. I have no problem having that conversation with the judge. Look, Your Honor, I mean, I don't want to run into any fair housing issues here. We're running this according to what the contract we have in place. You're obviously the judge here. It's at your discretion whether or not you grant us the writ of possession or not. So really, it's in your hands. And I've got no problem with working with people. I mean, we're not cruel, right? I mean, we're not kicking people out so they can get sick. I mean, I don't want to be that guy. But I also have some legal obligations, federal legal obligations, with regards to fair housing.
Yeah, so, and financial obligations too. Yeah.
Right. We got financial obligations too. That's a good point, Rob. If you look at the folks in our fund, obviously we pay that 9%, right? But there's also a 10% equity piece there. Well, part of that equity is when we sell that asset. And we want to make sure that asset stays leased up and it's in good condition and all that sort of stuff. So, and plus we have other partnerships. So our job is to maximize our return on these assets and to do so in the least risk or the most risk averse way we can. And one of those is not to run afoul of federal fair housing issues. So a lot of the landlords, and I'm on a bunch of landlord groups on WhatsApp. These guys all have 100+ doors. I'm talking to Richard Drake. We're talking to Jerry Taw. We're talking to a bunch of guys where it's like, hey, what's the industry is going to come up with? Hey guys, what's the best practice to deal with something like this? Notice I said it's the practitioners that are going to come up with the best practice, not the real estate gurus, not anybody else, right? It's going to be the guys that are actually doing this every single day out in the marketplace. And so we're bouncing ideas back and forth. What do you think we should do? So Larry says, how are you going to go in front of the judge if they're not hearing eviction cases? Well, you just don't. I mean, the courthouse is, my understanding, courthouse is closed. We won't even get I don't believe we'll even get a date, but I have not filed any evictions yet because nobody's late yet. That's one thing to keep in mind.
Well, the funny thing is we have a guy from last month, just one of our properties we filed eviction on. And he went to the property manager last week and said, are you going to kick me out and all this coronavirus stuff? And he said, well, I don't do it. The judge does it, but we're going through with it. And then, of course, the city shut down, so we didn't have our court date. But guy came up with another half-month rent.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So, and again, people are getting $600 a week. I mean, for most of our inner loop stuff, week and a half covers the rent, right? I mean, we're $900 a door. So,
well, so Schiff this morning said some of these enterprising Republicans, ones that are actually awake, started doing the math. They go, whoa, wait a second. There's a significant portion of the population that's going to make as much, if not more money.
It's a raise.
Yeah, and for not working. And he's like, this is crazy. So these people can pay. They can absolutely pay. So I'm not getting it. Let's see. I'm seeing some other stuff here.
Yeah, let me make it clear. Let me try and interpret it. So you can So Texas is not hearing anything until April 19th. That means the docket opens up and you start getting filled and you get a time to go, and it'll probably be obviously a 4-week or 5-week backlog, and there might be a big shitstorm of stuff. But that doesn't mean you don't stop the process.
Right.
So if no one pays by April 5th, we have a 5-day number, a 5-day rule. If by April 5th no one is there, on April 6th we go and serve them notice and tack a little thing on the door, take a picture of the notice on the door that we are filing for eviction, and then we go ahead and process everything that we can up until we get our basically we go online, we file it, we put our stuff in, and we wait until the court opens back up and tells us what to do.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean we don't put the sign up, we don't take a picture, we don't serve notice, we do all that stuff.
And I have no problem telling the tenant, like, look, I haven't gotten any mortgage forgiveness or tax or insurance or keeping this thing, repaired. So look, I get it. I don't want to kick you out either. I want you working. I really like this arrangement before, half the world got a damn virus. But I mean, what am I supposed to do here? I also am legally obligated to enforce this contract. So we're just going to let the judge decide.
Yeah, and again, like we mentioned, whatever that is, I forget how many weeks at $600 people are getting now on top of their state unemployment benefits. But you're right, Jason, for our tenants, I mean, that's $2,400. There's no problems giving us $900.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's not going to be very many excuses other than maybe I'm a little late. We can deal with that. But Henry asked who serves notice. Any one of us. Sometimes I have my contractor go out there,
I've gone
knock on
out
the door,
there.
let them know. I go out there. My property manager goes out there. Usually they don't answer the door. We tape the notice to the door, take a picture, put the date stamp on the picture, and we're good.
Yep.
Yeah, so really interesting conversations with our property managers. They're all taking action and moving forward. Jason, I know you got to run pretty soon, but we did get the In the Loop syndication. We have our general partners came in this week, so we're very happy about that. That is a very showing great opportunity in that one. And then Corpus Christi is still moving. So as we're talking about debt and evictions and all this other stuff, we're in the process of moving all our apartments into equity only, meaning our investors are investing for equity. And that's about 40% of our portfolio right now are under our management. And that means that those 40%, we really are not sweating it, if you will. And then the other 40%, we talked about this, the other 40% is in our fund, and we have a massive cash reserve there, so we're not worried about that. We're paying insurance, we're paying the managers. I mean, checks are going out just like normal. People are going to have an opportunity to choose to take their quarterly payment or to reinvest. So the handful of folks that are in the fund right now are interested. They'll be getting their payment. The only exposure we really have is the Airbnb stuff. And, if you saw my video yesterday, if you go check out Mr. Tech's Real Estate Group, my video's on there from Galveston. Jason, I think we're going to not do Airbnb right now at those 4 and just put them up for rent.
Okay.
And I think we still are going to make close to $4,000 gross rent there on, I don't know, $289,000, $300,000 net.
Yeah.
That works. So
well, I think when the market comes back, I almost think we sell those singles or what? I mean,
yeah, for sure. I think we might want to do 6-month leases on them, something along those lines. But we have everyone cross their fingers right now, knock on wood. We have 4 people that are trying to stay at one of my Airbnbs starting March 31st for 34 days. So this will take them into April. We'll take them into May. And if they go through and don't cancel, it will be the best booking ever at that house. Ever. It's going to be a $5,700 month on my $1,400 mortgage.
Oh, Anthony just said stimulus bill just passed, waiting on Trump to sign it.
Great.
Perfect. All right, guys.
So Airbnb is our biggest exposure right now, but Steve, you might. We have a number of so Steve's asking, hey, you have a series LLC with 8 sub LLCs, will each qualify for an SBA loan? I believe if they have their own individual EIN number, then that is the case. They will. Sorry, the LLC guru is on the phone.
Oh.
AC's got his event going this weekend too. So
okay. He called me about loans yesterday. I told him to text you. I said, I don't think there's much we can do for another.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of an issue over there. He might take one on the chin in the Heights.
Yeah, well, and we were talking about, he's got 2 packages, and I said, hey man, just if you can get them extended for 60 days, I think we can get those non-QM loans for you, and we can get those packages closed. So he was like, all right, but I said, call Rob, because they're literally on the phone every 10 minutes with the lenders. So
yeah, we had a busy day yesterday, and yes, the sub-series LLCs in the series LLCs have their own EIN number, and I believe that's what you're going to need to qualify for the loan, to start the loan process. So yeah, we have a number ourselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you just go for that short, little, quick and easy loan for $25,000. You should be happy. And then on like Mr. Texas Real Estate, we have some real issues here because mostly we're taking it on the chin on the radio show stuff, right? So we do need a little love and forgiveness on that. But yeah, guys, we will. We'll
shows.
Well, the California and both California and New Jersey cut their rates in half while this is all going on.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
So we still got to talk to Jerry about here. But yep, that was awesome.
Okay.
All right, guys. Any other questions? We got to go look. We got to go meet one of our partners. Anything else? You guys want to invest with us in our syndications, in our fund, in our we're doing some loans if you want, and we're looking for general partners and all that stuff. Brian will have a conversation with you. Remember, we can't do a syndication unless you have an existing relationship with us. You followed us, taken our classes, worked with Jason before, worked with me before. And if we don't have an existing relationship, then let's start one. All right, let's go ahead and start one. We're going to do some virtual happy hours and things like that. So let's get to know each other. All right, guys. And again, just text INVEST to 281-401-9008. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll keep doing this as long as it's necessary. Thanks.